I'm Casey.
And I'm Lynn.
We are here to tell you about the 2010 census. Currently, we have Katie at a local high school asking students if they have any questions about the census.
We hope that by the time we are finished here today, almost all of your questions will be answered. We will provide phone numbers and websites if you have any additional questions.
So who has the first question?
What is the census?
The 2010 census helps communities receive more than $400 billion in federal funds each year for things like hospitals, job training centers, schools, senior centers, bridges, and emergency services. Also, the data collected helps determine the number of seats our state has in the U.S. House of Representatives.
Why do we do it?
We use your information to produce statistics. Your answers cannot be used against you by any government agency or court. All Census Bureau employees take the oath of non-disclosure and are sworn for life to protect the confidentiality of the data. The penalty for unlawful disclosure is a fine for up to $250,000 or an imprisonment of up to 5 years or both.
And what about criminals and illegal aliens?
They count too. They use the same governmental services as the rest of us. If they don't get counted, your community loses approximately $1,000 for every uncounted person. That's why it's vital for everyone to be counted, even if you aren't a citizen.
Now what about the next question? What's your name? Heather. Surely I can't make a difference.
If just 30 people in a community didn't get counted, the community might lose out on approximately $30,000, or the average cost of hiring one more teacher for your school system. Yes, it's very important.
How are you counted?
You will be receiving the actual form in the mail with a self-addressed stamped return envelope. Simply fill in the form and return.
Use your big boy voice.
What if I do not receive my form?
If you do not receive a form, call the Telephone Assistance Center at 1-866-872-6868. If you prefer a Spanish-speaking operator, then dial 1-866-928-2010. The lines will be open from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., 7 days a week from February 25th to July 30th. For the hearing impaired, TDD 1-866-783-2010.
What if I do not have a permanent address?
You should be counted where you live and sleep most of the time. These residence rules serve as guiding principles for the census, whether you are living with relatives because of natural disaster or foreclosure, or are a college student living away from home, or a soldier living on a military base.
We understand that these can be challenging times for many people. Because of this, we created the Service-Based Enumeration Operation. The SBE is designed to provide an opportunity for people experiencing some form of displacement or lack of permanent address to be included in the census. By counting them at service-based locations such as homeless shelters, soup kitchens, or etc. The Be Counted form is another way people can take part in the census. Be Counted forms are census forms that are available at various community locations for the use of people who either did not receive a census form in the mail or who believe they were not otherwise included on any other census form.
The forms are available in 6 languages: English, Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Russian, and Vietnamese. English-Spanish bilingual forms will be mailed to areas with large numbers of Spanish-only households. You will be able to request a form in one of the 5 non-English languages via the toll-free numbers that will be available closer to Census Day. However, language assistance guides are available in 59 different languages to help people fill out the English version of the census form. You may also access large print and braille guides and a language reference dictionary.
No, not at this time. We're experimenting with internet options.
What's your question?
What if I lost the form?
If you lost or misplaced your form, call the Telephone Question Assistance Center at 1-866-872-6868.
B-counted forms are census forms that are available at various community locations for use by people who either did not receive a form in the mail or whose information was not collected on any other form. B-counted forms are available in English, Spanish, Chinese, Korean, Vietnamese, and Russian. These forms can be picked up in various community locations and mailed back in the attached postage-paid envelopes.
Do I have to fill in the form?
Yes, respondents are required by law to answer all questions to the best of their ability.
Many residents will receive a replacement form. If no form is mailed back, residents can expect a personal visit from a census taker sometime after March 2010. The census taker will ask you the questions on the form, record your answers, and then submit the form for your household.
If you check the wrong box, just draw a line through it and mark the correct box for the question. If the error is in the right inbox, carefully draw a line through the incorrect entry and write the correct information as close as possible to the entry.
How about your questions?
So what if I lie on my form?
According to Title 13, Chapter 7, Subtitle 2, anyone who willfully gives an answer that is false could be fined up to $500.
How do I know if my form's real or not?
Any requests for census information from the Census Bureau will be clearly identified as coming from the Census Bureau and as official business of the United States. Before your household receives a mailed form, a phone call, or a visit from the Census Bureau, you will be given a few days' notice with a letter from the Census Bureau Director.
By law, the Census Bureau cannot share respondents' answers with anyone, including any government agencies.
No, it is unlawful for the Census Bureau to give personally identifiable information about an individual to any other individual or agency until 72 years after it is collected for the decennial census. Additionally, every Census Bureau employee has taken an oath to protect your information and is subject to a jail term, a fine, or both if he or she discloses any information that could identify you or your household.
Quality checks are used to assure that our procedures are working and that our staff is doing their job they were assigned to do. These checks require that some households be visited more than once. Additionally, if you returned your form late, your response might not be logged before the census taker is sent out.
Census takers visit local homes up to 3 times to record resident information for the 2010 census. The census taker leaves a door hanger featuring a phone number each time if the residents they're trying to reach aren't home. Residents can then call the number to schedule the visit. In addition, quality checks to ensure that census procedures are working and census staff is doing their job will require that some households be visited more than once.
Oh, surely you have some questions.
Tell me more about the census taker. Who is a census taker?
A census taker is someone from your community that is hired by the Census Bureau to make sure that your neighborhood gets represented as accurately as possible. The Census Bureau provides the census taker with a binder containing all the addresses that did not send back a filled-out census form. Then they visit all the addresses and record the answers to the questions on the form. If no one answers at a particular residence, a census taker will visit that home up to 3 times, each time leaving a door hanger featuring a phone number. Residents can call the number on the hanger to schedule the visit. The census taker will only ask the questions that appear on the census form.
Do I have to talk to the census taker?
Yes, you are required by law to talk to the census taker.
How do I know if it's a government worker?
If a census taker visits your home, this is what you should do. First, ask to see their ID. All census workers carry official government badges marked with their name. They may also have a U.S. Census badge. Note that the census taker will never ask to enter your home. If you're still not certain about their identity, please call the Regional Census Center to confirm that they are employed by the Census Bureau.
What if I'm afraid to talk to the census person because I'm afraid of my identity being stolen?
We depend on your cooperation and trust, and promise to protect the confidentiality of your information. Title 13 of the U.S. Code protects the confidentiality of all your information, and violating this law is a crime with severe penalties. In addition, other federal laws, including the Confidential Statistical Efficiency Act and the Privacy Act, reinforce these protections. Private information is never published.
There are 10 questions.
The Census Bureau Call Center. General telephone lines are 1-800-923-8282, Monday to Thursday, 8:30 to 5:30 Eastern Time, Friday 8:30 to 4:30 Eastern Time. We hope that all of your questions have been answered. For any additional questions, please feel free to call the toll-free numbers or visit the website.
Thank you, Katie, and all the students who helped out.